Hey everyone, welcome back to another recon video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Greater London Flat course, and this is a course I've done recon for previously for a team time trial, but this time, since it is the Race London series, I'm going to be talking about it as a regular scratch race. So I'm going to be giving you tips, my thoughts on the course, and a full recon of the course, including details on bike choice and more in this video. Note that the footage from this is pretty old, so I was pretty light back then, but I am now around 42 kilograms. For those wondering why I am so light. Alright, so for the first race, riders are going to be racing one lap of the Greater London Flat course. That's going to be 17.3 kilometers or 10.7 miles, and then 97 meters of elevation gain or 318 feet of elevation gain, so a pretty flat course in general. Power-ups in play are going to be the draft boost and the aero boost. Alright, so in terms of bike choice, this is a very straightforward course, and the best bike is going to be the most aerodynamic frame and the most dynamic wheel set that you have. So for the top riders, it's going to be the S-Works Venge with the DT Swiss Arc disc wheel set, and for most riders, it's probably going to be either the Canyon Aeroed or the Tron bike. So overall, bike choice is pretty simple. You could just go based off of Zwift Insider's guide that he has on his website, and I have that link below for those who are interested in taking a look. That's about it for bike choice, and now back to the recon. Alright, so the race starts off pretty flat, and there are a few rollers that are going to help get the group settled a bit, and you really want to make sure heading into this descent that you do have a solid draft going, because if you don't, you could find yourself off the back like I did, and you'll end up having a long, painful chase back to the group. Especially in groups that are really large, you want to make sure that you are in the middle, if not in the front of the group, heading into that descent, especially if you are a lighter rider. After that, you have a short few bits of rollers before you head into the probably second most notable part of the course, which is going to be the small ramp up around 4 to 5%, and that's where the main split is going to happen. So you want to make sure that you push on that climb and even over the top of that climb to make sure that you really have a solid positioning. After that, riders will have some good time to really recover and get settled into that group before they hit that red carpet bit where they are going to see where the start of the course actually is, because this is all just a lead-in to get you to the start of the course. And this is actually going to give you a glimpse at what the finish is going to look like, so be sure to pay attention here, because that is what the finish will be looking like, and you can kind of get a feel for the terrain and the dynamic of the group. After that, you've got this slower bit, and this is a good place for a breakaway because I feel like it is pretty slow, especially with this corner. So if you can maintain a really high speed, you can get a lot of time on the group if you were to do a breakaway here. From then on, it is really straightforward. I'm going to be completely honest. There are a few rollers that are up to around 3% max, but other than that, it is pretty much pan flat, and you're not going to see the group be anything special through these rollers, because there's really nothing big enough to really get the riders to kick and spread the group out. It's just going to be a game of drafting and saving energy from here, and if you want to try a breakaway, it might be worth it, but I personally think that it is going to be really tough, especially with the current pack dynamics, where it's pretty much impossible to create a split in the group because of how many riders there are in the peloton and how fast the group just naturally goes when riders are just chilling. Riders should expect this route to last around 20 to 30 minutes depending on what category you're in. Category A riders will be finishing in the low 20s, Category B also in the low 20s, C mid 20s, and D's high 20s. The course does get a bit more technical as you keep going, but it really is nothing major that will cause any splits in the group. There are a few corners, so just be ready, because when the group does swerve, you want to make sure that you are closer to the middle of the group, because you don't want to get caught out of the draft. Moving on to the next most notable part, which is going to be this underground tunnel, which is going to bring the riders up to speed, and they're going to have quite a bit of speed going into this small climb, and this small climb is leading into the finish, so you want to make sure you have good positioning throughout this climb, because a split can certainly happen when riders' legs are starting to be fatigued. and you can see that that's exactly what happened in my race. Alright, so heading into this finish, I think that this finish is actually one of the more technical finishes, because you're going in this really flat stretch and then all of a sudden you hit almost a complete 180, and that kind of leads you into the red carpet, which you're going to know as the finish line. We could possibly see some longer sprints in this finish, but mostly it's going to be an all-out sprint with the aero boost and the rider with the fastest acceleration possible to win the race, because having a fast acceleration on this course is really important because it will allow you to really get a better positioning, and since it is a slight descent, you're not going to be able to really slingshot yourself that well because everyone's going to be going really quick. That just about wraps up the video. Thanks for watching. Ride on. Please leave a like, subscribe, and see you all next time.